Hey Team Toledo, welcome to the latest edition of the Rocket Report. As we enter another new year, I'd like to share with you an exciting new innovation that puts Toledo athletics at the cutting edge of technology and our ability to tell our story. Recently, we unveiled the new Nancy and James Lapp Creative Studio, located in the Sullivan Athletic Complex. The studio will serve as the new home for our entire creative team. Most significantly, it's equipped with View One virtual production solution and LED display that will provide a dynamic platform for content creation and filmmaking. Frankly, this is a game changer for us. We are the first athletic department in the country to have the power of View One technology. Our collaboration with View represents a giant leap forward in our ability to utilize virtual technology to elevate our creative capabilities. This new technology will help us attract and retain student athletes, as well as serve as a captivating visual centerpiece in the Savage Arena lobby area. From video shoots to post-game press conferences to new and exciting ideas we have yet to imagine, there's no limit to the potential of this exciting new innovation. Let's take a quick look at the possibilities that View One technology will open for. I would like to thank Nancy and Jim Lapp for their generous donation that turned the dream of our creative studio into a reality. Loyal Rockets like Nan and Jim help make the impossible possible for our student athletes. We are incredibly grateful for them and all of our supporters. Whether you support us through the Rocket Fund, the 1923 Society, by purchasing tickets to our games, or simply by wearing Rocky gear as an enthusiastic fan, we need your help to rise together and give our student athletes an unparalleled collegiate experience. Ultimately, the purpose of technology like our new creative studio is to better serve the needs of our student athletes. So, with that said, let's welcome two of our very finest Rockets, Quenisha Lockett and Noah Johnson. Quenisha is our reigning MAC Player of the Year on our defending MAC champion women's basketball program, and Noah is a starting pitcher and made the President's Honor Roll as a 4.0 student. Welcome, Q and Noah.
Thanks
for having us.
So, what do you think in the new space?
I love the new space. Like any area where us student athletes can come in here and be ourselves and get our personalities out there, like it's amazing.
I completely agree. The new space is incredible. I mean, the creative opportunities with this technology are immense and anything can happen. So I think it's an awesome thing that I haven't seen before in college athletics.
Well, love to hear it. Love to be the first. In this world of NIL and brand building, how important is technology like this in these new spaces?
This cutting edge technology is elite in a sense of NIL and student athlete atmosphere. Here at Toledo, we always talk about the gold standard, and we raise that standard with this technology. And I think it's just going to make our NIL brand and being able to brand ourselves even more elite in that sense.
Yeah, I could agree with Noah. Just being very elite here with our technology is helping us get recruits here and just helping us with the outside world, let them know like what we do outside of basketball or what our personalities are like outside of the sport that we do. So it's really helpful.
Absolutely. So I'd love to hear about your personal experiences at Toledo. Q, maybe we start with you. Why did you choose Toledo? And then in this age of transfer portal, why have you stayed at Toledo?
Yeah, I would say I stayed at Toledo because of the family environment that's here. You know, I'm 12 hours away from home, don't get home very often, but being here with my family, my second family, has just been everything to me. You know, feeling real comfortable in the program and just getting to do what I love is just top notch for me. So that's why I stayed, and that's why I live here.
And when you were on the recruiting process and you had these schools courting you, what made Toledo stand out?
First of all, when I came on my visit, it was just the girls here. They made me feel real comfortable, and I'm a shy person at first, but when you get to know me, I'm bubbly and goofy. So they made it come out of me. So I was like, oh, right away, this is it.
I did not know you were a shy person, for the record. Noah, in your case, you from Toledo and a lot of family ties here. You chose to go to Virginia Tech out of high school. What brought you back, and how do you compare the experience?
Honestly, one of the main things that brought me back was just the persistence from the coaches. I wanted that coach-player relationship. That's one of the things I didn't have at Virginia Tech, and Coach Rob was very persistent when I entered that transfer portal, and I just love how he kept the constant contact with us. And honestly, the community and, like Q said, that player camaraderie is just so insane here. It's like I feel like I'm a part of a second family. And I just chose to come back here to play in front of my family and get that opportunity to have their support and just get that chance to play.
And I think nowadays in the news, you hear a lot about Power Five, Group of Five, the differences. You were at an ACC school. How would you compare and contrast those two experiences?
I would say that Toledo, my personal experience at Toledo has been so much better. Being at a bigger school, you feel like, being at a bigger school, you really feel like you're not a part of that family. There's so many people there where you don't get that sense. But here at Toledo, not even because we might be a smaller school, just because, I mean, everyone is rooting for each other, everyone's pulling for each other here, and it just is such an awesome experience.
I love it. Can you give us maybe some other insights into your student-athlete experience here at the University of Toledo?
Yeah. You know, me and my teammates, I would say every Tuesday, we love to go to the movies just to see what's out there, or just to do something with each other on a day that we don't have anything for practice, or even if we're not traveling, you know, because Tuesdays are our traveling days. Also, like, I would just say our fan base here. Like, our fan base here is one of the top tier fan base in the MAC and probably in the country. Like, Toledo is amazing, and I just love the support that they have behind us, and it's just there for me. Like, I love it.
Yeah. So you talked about going to the movies. What's your go-to movie snack?
My go-to movie or just
Snack.
Oh, go-to movie snack. Oh, I didn't hear the snack part. My go-to movie snack, I get a couple things. Popcorn, and I tell them to put so much butter in there that you might need another bucket. I love to get a little icy, mix it with the blue raspberry and the cherry, and probably some Twizzlers. I like Twizzlers too.
Insider tips. I love it. Noah, how about you?
Our student-athlete experience outside of baseball, I mean, we love to get together and go support other athletes, like you said. Our basketball teams, both women's and men's, are incredible teams to go watch. And just being able to have that sense of community, like I mentioned earlier, just going to watch them. And we also just get together on our off days, like you said, and just hang out, watch sports, and just kind of feel that sense of being a family.
I love it, and I think having been a former student athlete, that brotherhood or that sisterhood, that bond you build, that's what you'll remember years after this. So cherish that. So we've had a really great winter inside Savage Arena. One of the highlights for me personally was you guys beating Michigan in front of a sellout crowd by 20 plus points. What was that like playing in the atmosphere?
It was amazing. You know, going to Michigan last year and having the fans that we had there, I was so excited to see like what fans will bring here at Toledo. The whiteout, like to where you can actually see, like, because last year it was like blue and gold everywhere. But when we came home, it's just white everywhere. And you walk out in the arena and it's just like, wow, like this is really us here. Like, and it's gonna be so loud, the atmosphere is just booming. Yeah. And you know, when we're out there and we starting off great, like we get a good start to the game, it just makes everything so much funner for our fans. And getting out there to play and being up by 20 points at the end of the game, like, I was so hyped. I even tried to do a little fancy move to get the crowd going even more. I
just love seeing, because it very much feels like you feed off the energy of the crowd and vice versa. And that dance that happens in the arena is just special.
Yes, the crowd just makes everything more amped. Like, it make it amped up.
I love it. I love it.
I was at that game and it was incredible. It was very fun to be at.
And that's what we talk about Team Toledo, right? We want our Rockets, our city, our community supporting one another as we have success, because women's basketball, being high profile and having a great atmosphere and building fans, will ultimately help baseball and vice versa. And that's really what that concept is about. So love hearing that you were in the crowd, rocking white, cheering on cue with the fancy moves. So Noah, we got you in the background here on the mound. Tell me about growing up in Toledo, going off to Virginia Tech, and then circling back and finding home.
For sure. I mean, I grew up going to St. Francis right down the road. I passed Toledo every day on my way to school. I had a brother that went here in 2015 and played baseball, and I knew that community that was at Toledo was very strong, but I chose to go away and kind of get that sense away from being home. And after 3 years, I knew it wasn't really what I wanted to do. And once I entered the transfer portal, and Toledo reached out to me, and they really wanted me. And just being able to come back and be here and play in front of my hometown and in front of my family and friends, it's something I can't even picture in like a movie, like you was just talking about. I mean, it's so incredible, and I couldn't have made a better decision in coming back to Toledo.
Yeah. Walk us through what that experience looks like. You've come back home. You've got lots of family and friends that can come out on a regular basis. Like, how does that impact the post-game experience or what you're able to do with meals or otherwise?
Yeah, so the first game that I played at home last year, I had about 50 friends and family in the stands. And it was insane because I've only really had my parents and my siblings at games at Virginia Tech. And being able to look up before I threw my first pitch and just see everyone there rooting for me, it was something I couldn't imagine. And just being able to take that all in, just like we talked about with Q and the fans at a basketball game hyping you up, it gave you that sense of like, let's go, we gotta perform for them, just because we live for those moments. So it was awesome. It was an awesome experience.
I love to hear that. So, Q, you're in the middle of a season. Noah, you guys kick off your season in February. What are you most looking forward to this spring? Q, we'll start with you.
March Madness.
Yeah.
March Madness. Can't wait for the tournament.
Just being able to get back on the field. Being hurt last year at the end of the season was a big downer, and just being able to be healthy and get back on the field and win a MAC championship, bring one home to Toledo, and extend that to a regional and possibly play for a national championship. Couldn't ask for more.
I think you touched on something there, coming back from injury. Kind of, what does that process look like when you're banged up and you have to go into rehab every day and try to come back? I mean, what does that look like for you?
It's something that I haven't had to deal with in my entire career, and it's been very different and difficult. I had a couple difficult nights once I got hurt, but I mean, the training staff here has been so supportive, and they've done everything they can to get me back on the field. PT 3 times a week, seeing our trainer, Devin Cassidy, and he just does everything for us. I mean, like I said, our training staff will help us in any way possible to get us back on the field as soon as possible. So it's been an awesome experience, learning experience, growth experience, so couldn't ask for the most support from the training staff.
And Q, I think for your team, I mean, obviously high aspirations coming into the season, trying to stay healthy and march towards that certainly be a challenge. What do you do to try to stay healthy, stay in the groove, stay at the top of your game as you progress? And I'm assuming it's not butter and popcorn.
Only on Tuesdays, exactly. Only on Tuesdays. Just try to get some rehab and recovery after practice. Do the Normatec boots or get in the ice bath. Not so much the ice bath for me, but my teammates. Just getting all the recovery that you can just to keep your body healthy and stay right.
I feel like every athlete's got an ice bath story somewhere on it. So.
I don't got too many of those.
So I really enjoyed this. Thank you both for being with us today, and thank you more than anything for being great ambassadors for Team Toledo. You make everybody associated with this university, this city, your teams proud, and I know you're going to continue to do great things far beyond these walls. Go Rockets.
Go Rockets. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations to our men's and women's basketball teams, both of whom are having terrific seasons and made headlines with historic winning streaks. Our men's team won a MAC record 20 consecutive league games over the past 2 seasons, while our women had a streak of 21 victories over conference opponents. For both teams, it was a run that lasted an entire year without a loss by either squad in MAC play. It's just a remarkable run of consistent excellence. The success of our teams has meant huge crowds in Savage Arena this season. As I mentioned, our women had their first sellout in a regular season game for their win over Michigan last month, while our men's team had an exciting victory versus Bowling Green on January 27th, which was also a sellout. It was the 3rd largest crowd in the modern history of Savage Arena. This is the first time in Toledo athletics history we've had both programs with sellouts in the same season. When Savage Arena is packed for these games, there's no better basketball environment in the country. You can literally feel the energy the crowd brings to these games. A sold-out, loud Savage is great for our teams, great for our university, and frankly, a big plus for this entire Toledo community. I'd also like to give kudos to the women's basketball tandem of Quenisha Lockett and Sophia Wired, as Quenisha recently moved into 2nd place all-time on our scoring list, and Sophia scored 40 points in a win over Kent State, becoming the first women's basketball player in Toledo history to crack the 40-point mark twice in a career. Sophia has been a model of consistency in her career, as she recently became our all-time leader in games played and total minutes logged as a Rocket. Basketball isn't our only sport that's had an amazing winning streak. When men's tennis player Paulette Sornlatsuk was narrowly defeated by Ohio State's Cannon Kingsley on January 24th, it ended his incredible run of 45 straight victories in dual meet matches. Congrats to Pawett for this unbelievable achievement. Although he narrowly lost, we're so proud of how Pawett represents being a Rocket, processing the loss, standing up with a smile to greet his opponent, showing true grace in defeat. Speaking of tennis, our men came up with a huge victory recently when they defeated Penn State in an incredible 6-hour marathon in their first win ever over the Nittany Lions. MAC play is coming up soon, and both our men's and women's tennis teams were picked in preseason poll of the league's coaches to repeat as Mid-American Conference champions. And both teams are looking forward to hosting MAC championships here in Toledo next April. Turning to football, kudos to head coach Jason Candle and his staff who landed another elite recruiting class. The football team signed 19 high school players and 8 transfers in what has been rated as the best recruiting class in the history of the Mid-American Conference. Congratulations also to football players Judge Culpepper and Maxon Hook for being named to the College Sports Communicators Academic All-American team. This is the first time in 22 years that 2 Toledo football players have made the Academic All-American team. And finally, congratulations to all our Rockets for another incredible semester in the classroom. Our student athletes earned a collective 3.423 grade point average last term, the highest fall semester GPA in school history. And all of our teams earned at least a 3.1 GPA. Special recognition goes to 2 teams that each broke our previous all-time team GPA record. Women's tennis with a 3.9 GPA and women's basketball exceeding a 3.8 mark. Academic performances like these have become the standard at the University of Toledo. At the core of our mission is to graduate champions who will go on to change the world. At our fall commencement ceremony last month, 38 student athletes walked across the stage, officially becoming graduates of the University of Toledo. I can't wait to see what this latest class of graduates and all of our Rockets will accomplish into the future. I'd like to close by wishing all of our teams good luck this season. We've accomplished so much in the past year, but I'd like to think we've only just scratched the surface. Our vision is to continue our rise to national prominence as the gold standard of college athletics. And guess what? We're well on our way. I'm excited to see what 2024 has in store for Team Toledo. This community, this university, this athletic department. All 3 combined together, we will accomplish the impossible. Happy New Year and go Rockets.